okay, sorry, but it's, we want to make sure with the right people.
Yeah.
And we were fortunate with that couple.
Oh, they were great.
Yeah.
But they were,
and we shipped from Cannes.
They were about 20 years older than
us.
So
they did retire.
The lifespan of that gallery wasn't going to be very long, but it was 10 years ago.
Yeah, 10 years, which was very good. And they were wonderful people. But
the trouble is, if the children don't want to take on the job of their parents or the business, usually finishes true. Usually.
Yeah,
quite.
Because there are galleries that do continue.
Plus, we have some
like Gagliardi in London. I mean, they've
got their son doing it,
he's
so
wonderful.
That's been going for 35 years, and it'll probably go for another 35 now because he's quite
wonderful.
young.
He's a lawyer, but
he's only in his 30s, isn't he?
Yeah, he's wonderful. Spokesperson, and that's London.
So then we forgot to talk about during the show that we had in the home show, the French guy and the Spanish guy from the mall came to the show, and they ended up buying a big native hider face.
So they became our
Ygartua
patrons. And then the story will be later, Paul.
Yeah, okay.
Because you cross.
They came to Vancouver eventually.
Yeah,
okay, we'll talk about that later. That's
but a lot of
episode.
just to reinforce how many contacts were made in Quebec.
Yeah. Absolutely. It was special. Actually, Vancouver is really not the same.
BC is not the same.
It's a very sporty place. People are into mountains and skiing, and it's a sports place. It's not.
It's only recently
as cultural, except for of course, the West Coast carvings from the natives.
Yes, they
totem
are always
poles.
important.
But there really isn't a great big European influence here with art.
Art Vancouver started, I think, it's
Just
7 years ago.
Yeah,
and this is really, she's doing a great job.
She's
and this
doing
is
good,
the very first time that Vancouver's had like a world sort of art expo.
Called it a cultural desert, but
not with our natives.
Well, luckily we get a lot of Americans here.
Yeah,
year,
count on the Americans,
and we count on them. But this year there hasn't been any Americans because the border's closed. But fortunately, the gallery has been doing pretty good with our locals, with different type of scenes I've been doing as well.
Yeah. Well, abstracts and scenes,
Have you never had the desire to be based in East Canada?
No.
We haven't had the desire to be based anywhere.
That's right.
Yeah, but you are based in Vancouver in a way. So
we're here, but
I suppose so. But this year we are.
Yeah.
True.
We do
normally we're not here more than a couple of months at a time.
Yeah.
You've managed.
We're very...
Yes.
You survived.
Yeah, because, once we adapt very quickly when
Can't wait to get back there.
When you have your work, every day that you can't wait to get to, then sure, that's been wonderful for that, and it's also been wonderful doing the podcast with you.
Yes,
that's been great.
This is all new. It's all interesting.
This is true. Yeah. Going over history, and so at some point you had to go back. So you had to go back because of schooling, and you had to go back because time was up, and you had to go back to base.
We take this time, I guess, about 10 days crossing, because we do stop off in Penticton, and not too many places on the way.
Moose Jaw.
Well, there is a lot of sort of...
Banff, of course.
Yeah, Banff.
We always love Banff. That's a beautiful
I mean, we should have
place.
Stopped off at Niagara Falls, but we didn't.
You didn't stop in Ottawa with your... You had a gallery reference there?
Probably yes. We stopped...
We had to take paintings to them. That's right.
We stopped off in Montreal and Ottawa.
Ottawa. That's right.
Of course.
We delivered paintings in Montreal to a gallery.
Yeah.
And then we
started immediately.
Yeah, and they took my plexiglass.
Yeah.
And a lot of them, the smaller ones even, they took a lot of small plexiglass.
And where's this? In Montreal or in Ottawa?
In Montreal.
Yeah.
Because Montreal is fairly creative and artistic and culturally interesting.
LaSalle. It was in LaSalle, Montreal.
Yeah.
Which is just outside of the centre.
Slightly outside.
Yeah.
So that was a gallery, was it?
Yes.
Right. Okay.
And then Ottawa, Studio Colleen,
Studio Colleen,
right beside the museum.
which was a lovely place. She had a great gallery.
She'd been in business for
She'd been but there's another one. She was
25
also
years.
20 years older than us.
Yeah. So she was excellent. And
Looking for young gallery owners now.
Yeah, all of you out there, any young gallery owners, please do get in touch. Yeah. Okay. And then Ottawa's the sort of last business stop on the way home.
That's right.
Yes.
And
we did have
great.
have Calgary at some point before that.
Yeah, we were with Calgary.
But we didn't stop there to deliver any paintings this time.
Was he still coming?
I'm not sure whether he'd moved already
Leslie
back
Agus,
to Leslie
yeah.
Agus. I think he'd already moved to Vancouver Island, actually.
Yeah, he might have moved.
He's another one who was 30 years older than us.
Yeah, he was. I mean, these were very good people as well. But anyways, people...
Actually, when you started adding up all the galleries we've dealt with over a 50-year period...
Oh, yeah.
It's
I'm sure Joanne has an enormous Excel spreadsheet of the whole thing. Somewhere.
She must have.
No spreadsheets, but
no, it's all up top.
Written all over the place.
Yeah.
That's right. That's right. Better get it out now.
Quite.
So anyways, we get back to Vancouver, but what I wanted to say, for 1987, August. So at that time we were with galleries still in Hawaii. We were at Quebec City, Ottawa, Montreal, Vancouver Island, Vancouver, and Hike Galleries still down in Phoenix, Arizona.
Yeah.
So, and we still did all our shows. I mean, because Paul's prolific, we can, deal with more than, one other gallery, right, for instance.
Before I forget, I have two plexiglass, or are they plexiglass? I don't know what they are.
No, those are Mylar. Those are just Mylar.
So that's just thin film.
They're lovely.
That's right. Yeah.
So that's thin film, and that's painted.
Painted.
There's no spraying going on.
No, that's exactly what the guy was doing in the show in New York, was painting on the plexiglass instead of the Mylar.
Actually,
he was doing that type of stuff on plexiglass.
That size,
but my plexiglass that I do now is completely different. I could send you a photograph.
What do you mean? The stuff that you're doing now is different to what you did when you started? Is that what you mean?
No, it's different from the Mylar. It's not. It doesn't look like the Mylar.
Yeah, no. Nothing like the guy.
Because you're spraying, or because you're mixing.
Spraying, and got my silver line throughout everything.
Oh yeah,
as well.
yeah. Yes, because I looked at. I didn't know what this technique was, and I looked it up, Googled it a bit, and I realised it's not. It's at a base level, it's not from painting at all. It's from enamel work, and it's from
that's right, design.
And probably from stained windows is related in some way.
That's right, stained glass. The stained windows in churches have a simple idea, simple with the lead filling. They have lead lines.
Yeah.
But now when you're talking about this, right? Because the plexi is such a beautiful medium, and we did ship. I mean, we actually shipped to Tokyo and and across Canada and things. But when they're a certain size, not too big. Yours is quite small on the Mylar, which I love that medium as well. And in fact, when he did the show, when Anton's about 15, right? This is the Montserrat Gallery in New York, Soho, and you did all those reverse on the Mylar. Well, we call it the drawing film, right?
Right.
Yeah, yours is on, what we call is drawing film, if people don't understand. But, it would be interesting.
It's done on plexi, those. I drew on plexiglass.
As well, yeah.
Yeah,
that's
the first show we did in New York like that, in a gallery that was drawn and painted on plexiglass. But I used to use like a Frisca to mark out certain areas, so it would be like geometrical. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'll send you a photograph of one of them. But it looks very geometrical, but painted as well. Not like the plexi style I'm doing now.
We didn't do any
different from
of the knife work.
No knife work.
No, but you know what? When you're talking like Tala talking about new show, you could come up with the smaller plexi.
Well, I could.
Hey?
Yeah, I could.
Because it's a beautiful medium.
Yeah.
And also, they could put it together to make a big one.
Yes, Joanne.
Hey, Ed, you've done it.
I've done it again.
Idea. You brought a good idea.
Off you go.
We'll pass that on to Paul.
Off you go, Paul. Get a move on. Stop lazing about. Jesus.
Put her to sleep.
thanks for listening to another episode of the Ygartua Art Chronicles podcast. It was great to hear about East Canada and the new plexiglass process invention. Don't forget to subscribe and leave a rating and review on Apple Podcasts or wherever you get your podcasts. This episode was recorded and edited by me and was produced by Tala Ygartua and myself. The music is by Hoskin and Clark, and we'll see you in the next episode.